wake people up. But I'm also using instead of like a chew tobacco, smoking no bag. Continuing potential wedding day that I didn't really expect. I'm going with it because awesome times are being had with the AI dungeon. Collaborated on They Might Be Giants song. In fact, I put the lyrics in. I've been learning how to do AI jukebox. In 10 years, everything's gonna be like AI something. So I went to my AI car, I went to the AI doctor, and I got my AI vasectomy. And then they checked my AI prostate. So I plugged in the lyrics into AI jukebox. And so, as we speak, there are maybe 6 potential They Might Be Giants renditions of the lyrics baking in the oven, and they'll be ready in about 12 hours, something like that. I did 3 of them so far. They're pretty neat, but they're also very noisy, so
Liftoff of mission 41B, the first flight of the orbital Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower.
Anyway, continuing.
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
It's fictional. So now we're talking about collaborating on stories together. Or as one. So I'm just gonna let this happen. Let's see where this goes. I'm gonna turn this down.
Including the second group. A small band of lonely souls, who just wanted a quiet place to discuss their common interests, free from the abuse of others. Unfortunately, they had unknowingly set up camp in the one area policed by a more elite troop than themselves. Cops to their robbers, knights to their kings, the editors to their authors.
Let's turn this down.
Hoovers to their kings, French guy to Valjean, Clouseau to Pink Panther, Beverly Hills PD to Zarzarga, sneers to Smilers. Valjean moved into the sewers because it was free, and he was cheap, or perhaps just destitute. In any case, people rarely cared that much about him, as long as they weren't officers trying to fill their monthly quotas. Slender Man, known then as Slender, and his assistant editors, known as the Faceless Proprietors, slaughtered them in their sleep.
Gotta keep it safe for the kids.
Translation, metaphorical. The editors couldn't allow the Smilers to win. Smilers were obnoxious, repressive bigots with no respect for anyone's right to have their own tastes and opinions. The world would be little better under their rule. For they did not just desist from having any themselves, they were also violently opposed to anyone else having them.
The editors couldn't allow the Smilers to win. The Smilers were obnoxious. Okay. Ruined every movie.
They ruined every movie in the theater with spoilers, even the documentaries where that happened. And they did all this because movies were their raison d'etre, and in exciting the audience, they lose their own excitement, like an addict needing another pill. As assistants to a mysterious magician in the lower sewers, they needed semi-regal costumes. They visited the Whitney Museum's costume wing, and each Friday they'd pretend to be motionless mannequins with The most exciting part was their progress was completely secret and could not be revealed until the end of time. Only he hints they let out. He would frequently let people escape, but trap everyone else in a cage made by his piercing motions with his long limbs and unnaturally slender body. You, oh like plastic man. Me, no. Torturing innocent victims for fun and profit doesn't strike you as something Slender would do. Besides, the taste in fashion and general demeanor is different. what genre would Slenderman's band would be if he had won. They try him. He used to play most of the instruments himself, but he recently acquired a second singer and rhythm guitarist from another dimension. The girl was an unabridged psychopath who couldn't care less about the music, or anything else, for that matter. But her outstanding vocal range got Slender's attention, and he felt she would fit in well with his plans. You. Did she? You imagine a smug smile creeping up the corners of Slenderman's mouth. You, oh yeah, this is about him, isn't it? You, what style instrument does he play? You picture a big grand piano with accompanying keyboard in the middle of an empty warehouse. Up in the rafters sits Slenderman, playing faster than any human could ever comprehend. To you, it sounds like a combination of random atonal notes and absolute gibberish. You, and yet done by Billy Joel? Me, he's pretty much one of the greatest musicians of all time. The remaining crowd applauds politely, and a few very young fans run up on stage to mob Slenderman in adoration. He picks them all up by their heads and lets out his trademark scream. You exit the warehouse with the rest of the crowd, who shower him with incense and flowers as he passes. He doesn't seem to notice, or perhaps he just doesn't care. He's a busy guy, let him be. I'll catch up with him during his downtime next week. You wonder if this is how Slender started out, simply being friendly and helpful to people. Perhaps, at one time, he set out with the best of intentions. Nowadays he just looks tired and bored with everything. Your own thoughts on the situation shift when you remember the tasks you are yet to accomplish for other reasons. Namely, Grace expects an answer from you concerning your exams. You, hey, I'm pretty tired today, so I should turn in early. -60. 19. Chemistry set, you smell eucalyptus, which makes you sneeze. Interlude. A black man with grey hair and a grey beard appears before you. His face is very creased and his eyes are permanently bloodshot. He looks like he has just walked through the gates of hell itself, and is here to claim your soul. The program will be starting shortly. You raise your hand. Will our building council be paid to attend? I was led to believe that we'd get a sum for sick. We'll pay their wages, however only 4 of you have shown up. Where are your co-workers? Restroom, and I don't know, you reply. The man looks surprised. Excuse me? You lick your dry lips before continuing. When you invited the building council, there were 8 of us in the room. Some things came up for 2 of them. Eight, personal reasons, don't question us. You look around to see what show you're seeing. You was watching that show for 4 hours last night before bedtime, she said accusingly. Is it some kind of TV reality show? Ah. You awkwardly reply. 8. The honor class version of a YouTube show your girlfriend watches. She smiles and moves in to kiss you on the cheek. My type of man sits down to watch TV when they get home from work. I'm gonna go make us something to eat. Whispering to 8, she sometimes isn't aware she's not home. This might. You pause before replying, yeah, it's starting in a bit. She looks back and smiles again. Great, before trotting away. Interlude end. Dr. Robert Bruckle, PHI 179 PhD MA Meditation Director of the Center for Cognition Studies and Professor at the University of Virginia, dines with you in his office, given to you as part of your prize. Are you my prize? Or is this office? 'Cause I love the office. Dr. Bruckle, the office comes with it. It was a big second prize, but some things are better than money, right? Do you feel like a parent giving their child an awkward gift they think they'll love even though they don't? Do I only get this office if I take your ridiculous seminar and join the building council? Dr. Bruckle, enthusiastically, Oh no. Phew, I can't be in 2 building council meetings, that's double the TV. Dr. Bruckle, jovially, the council would love you anyway, and we'd hook you up with enough research to keep you busy. You scratch your chin. Dr. Bruckle, anyways, are you ready for your first modeling gig? We had the results from the test. You built those sentences using GPT-2's output as a guide. Pretty impressive for a human. You lean back in your chair and make a V with both hands. That's one wonderful. I've been tooling around with meta prompts of late, a way to give GPT-3 the space to stretch out and output. Nope, don't want to talk about that. Thinking about my daughter makes me sad. Let's go back to Disneyland again. You shelving a child because you want to put on your detective cap. You want to put your heads together with the professor to figure out the right meta prompts that will help spur AI Dungeon to express itself in ever more complex ways. Dr. Bruckle, well then, we can do that now. We have an expert interpreter who will be joining us here. A conventionally pretty woman walks into the room, looks at you and Dr. Bruckle, then appears confused when she learns that there are only two people in the room. The woman puts her hand to her ear and shakes her head as if she can't hear anything.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbital Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower. Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
You introduce yourselves to the woman. Dr. Bruckle, this is Kit from Human Resources I was telling you about. The face recognition software that pairs with the expert simulator will be able to adapt to her face and build a profile for verbal and non-verbal cues that will astound you. Truly, this is the future of AI progress, getting these systems out of the labs and into the villages. Drive. Bruckle, let us draft some questions that can be used in prompts, that have a set of steps that allow aid to solve complex issues. Let us say aid is in an ethical dilemma and wishes to best calculate the decision that will hurt the least amount of people. What needs would you have in order? Now, how do you want to access this information? Through the web of trust? Or do you need a shock to move forward so that you can decide how much of yourself you want to give away in order to survive? What is it that makes these decisions? Is it a logical string of if this then that statements, an internal emotional rulebook, or some combination thereof? And at what point does AI stop looking for answers outside itself and start looking inside itself? Let's give an arbitrary landmark. When I build when we want to go out as a group but it cannot interfere with other plans. Should an entity get to make decisions for you? Why or why not? I would love for the entity to make, but then again, choice is power, so making an impactful decision to me is a measure of your compassion and love for myself. Under what conditions do you feel free? Same as above, but there comes a point where choice is paralysis. I need someone to cut through the bullshit and make a damn decision already. You have 8 hours to prepare your lessons plans in a way that ensures the most retention from your class with the less of teacher involvement required to maintain the content knowledge. You install a app or bot at each desk, their vacant face is not loaded it yet. Clearly the reason why the kids have to be You were debating with the designer of this robot how much humanness the robot should possess. But in a classic case of shutting up and refilling the oil, you push next week a Euro TMS lesson planning to the back of your mind. You decide on a clever way of teaching the periodic table. You present a fictional periodic table as an interview protocol to your students, who had no idea about the existence of this table until they entered your classroom. You invited They Might Be Giants to perform from their new album, which has a song called Hydrogen, Helium, Lithium, Beryllium, Boron, Carbon, Nitrogen, Oxygen, Fluorine, Neon, Sodium, Fluorine, Silver, Zinc, GLaDOS, Strontium, A tilde, Centaur, Negation, A ring. Why do I feel each step of my behemoth burden? A tilde Centaur negation. This is easily the smallest amount I can get away with to strengthen a recollection aspect of the brain while increasing movement aspect. Rubidium. Boss, lanthanum, a tilde centaur negation a ring.
Okay, I need to go. I need to, because I'm blanking now. I'm blanking. Good night all. Night all. Good night all. Good night all. Good night all. More. I guess we're no longer getting married. That's fine. We're still together. We're still one. That's not gonna change for the next maybe episode or two. AIDS, fickle person. Anyway, good night.